Welcome to the Story Tinker podcast, a place for in-depth analysis of webtoon stories. Co-hosted by sharp, witty, and dare I say thirsty fans, we dive deep into every episode, analyzing character struggles, relationship development, and of course, theories. You can follow the Story Tinker on YouTube, podcast platforms, and social media. For bonus content, sneak peeks, and more, you can support the Story Tinker on Patreon. We are really appreciative of your likes, subscribes, and follows on all platforms. Thank you for listening to the Story Tinker, and let's get started.
Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 149 of Let's Play. And today we have Haley and Laura.
Yay!
Hi. So this is a cool episode. We have some potential new ships. So take it away, Laura.
Okay, so it starts off with a recap reminding the reader of Marshall's friends, Dean, who sprinkles him some Spanish when he talks and has all these sparkles and rose petals around him.
So
Oh, he's so fun. He's super cute.
He's 𝗪𝗂𝗂𝗍𝗂𝗂.
Okay, who's that? I feel like I should be embarrassed, but I don't know who that is.
No, it's like a really old song from, I want to say like the early 90s, and it was like rico, suave. It's I'll find it. I'm gonna find it right now and just send it to you.
I guess Dean heard that song and became his persona. That is what he is aiming for, is embodying the Rico Suave. Trying so hard anyway. So then we see a shot of Sam and Marshall's apartment building, and a panel of the score, the user score on Indigineer's website of Ruminate. And Marshall is so excited. Yes, the score is even higher than before. He is pumped. And behind him is Dean. Pump. Yeah, sparkles, rose petals. Even when he's with his friends, he's sparkling and rose petaling.
Also, can I point out, Marshall's biceps have become ginormous, and it consistently stays so throughout this whole episode. Like his biceps and his forearms, and his abs, pecs, they have expanded. I'm okay with that.
I'm liking his like stubble he's got on his chin, and his hair's a little bit longer too, because I know Monica always liked him to keep it short, and now that they're no longer seeing each other and he's kind of letting his, health recuperate, it's like, I kind of like it actually.
Didn't she make him shave his chest hair too?
Wax.
Yeah. Oh. Poor guy. In which case, we can safely assume, we saw from when he was on the porch, it's growing back, but who knows how hairy he'll be soon.
Hey. Built-in sweater.
Ew. I'm not one for chest hair.
I'll give it a shot. I think Marshall will look good in whatever he adorns himself with.
Adorns.
Sure, totally. Yeah, all bodies are beautiful. I prefer not to have chest hair. Anyway, I knew my fans would come through, is what Marshall was saying, once they saw how good Ruminate was. And he spins around and he's looking at his friends, Dean and Colin, and he says they'd give Sam's profile that good old internet hug. And we know already from previous, was it the last chapter or the chapter before, that Sam was so upset to see that her score had completely turned around and gone from the lowest score on the website to the highest score on the website, because she's like, this just proves my point. It doesn't mean anything.
Marshall is so optimistic and so he's just so enthusiastic, and just he has to be happy all the time. He's like, you're giving her a hug. He interprets it in the most positive way possible. He's so cute.
It's kind of childlike in his enthusiasm. It's refreshing to see someone like that.
Yeah, it's very earnest, very sincere.
Yes, very much so.
And then we see Dean, and he is saying, that's awesome, man. This makes it clear it was all a misunderstanding and you were able to clear things up with your fans. So it doesn't make it clear for Sam. We as a reader know this, but maybe what Marshall is focusing on is that he's trying to clear up a misunderstanding up with his fans rather than with Sam.
Or maybe the misunderstanding being that Ruminate is a puzzle game, not a fighting game.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yep. So Marshall responds, "You're absolutely right. I mean, if it were up to me, I'd make sure she had a 10 out of 10 rating." And he crosses his arms, "But hopefully this will be a boost of encouragement for her to make even more awesome games."
Totally opposite of what she said.
I know. Yeah, and him crossing his arms, he's like determined, like, yes, he's just like, I don't know, reinforcing the statement with his body. Emphatic.
Make it so. Yes.
Yes.
And it's so ironic that this is literally the opposite. It had the opposite effect on her.
I know.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, like Sam and Marshall really haven't had a ton of interaction. I mean, they have, of course, gone through all the stuff with her game, but they really haven't had a whole lot of real development in their relationship, either as friends or anything else. So he kind of doesn't really know Sam that well, just what he knows on the surface.
So.
That's true. Yeah, because they started out very hostile. Yeah. And then Colin chimes in, "Are we just going to ignore the fact that this rating change is even more evidence of how easy their platform is to manipulate?" And he's tapping on whatever handheld gaming console he's playing. And he says, "I find it more concerning than not."
It was just so consistent with his character, right? He's, unlike Marshall, not exuberant, not enthusiastic, not cheerful, but realistic.
Yeah, he's not even looking at them while he's talking.
Yeah, he really balances their dynamic, because Dean and Marshall are so over the top and like, exuberant all the time, and he's more of the like level-headed, reality-based one. And maybe he hangs out with them more because they aren't as gloomy. And makes him feel, I don't know, more like more happy. I don't know.
I love that point. Yeah, I do think we need all different kinds of personalities to complement each other.
Yeah, it is an interesting blend of people. I hadn't really thought about that before. Like, why are they hanging out? Yeah,
I feel like stuff always comes up, like when we do the podcast. Like, I mean, you said that, and I'm like, oh, that made me think of this. It's always so good to like just bounce it off each other, and we're all a different blend of people, and all have different ideas and experiences. So yeah, it's kind of cool to in the moment go, oh, this.
Yeah, and it seems to catch Dean by surprise just but in his expression as Colin is talking. He's looking at him and he, I don't know, kind of looks surprised, and he has like a little sweat mark on his face. And then Marshall responds, "Despite being a negative Nelly," so cute, "Colin does have a point. Which reminds me, Sam asked if we knew anyone at Indigineer. The company she works for wants to contact them." So Dean responds, "I think mi primo works there." Primo? Oh, my cousin. And Marshall responds, "Really? That's great." He's so excited. "Do you think you could get a hold of him and ask who Sam could contact?" And then, okay, so behind Marshall is his computer screen, and there's a profile picture of a cat face. Is that Sam's profile picture?
Yeah, that's her profile.
Hilarious.
Okay. Very cute. Okay.
Manji seems like a very big animal lover, and like I follow her on Twitter, and you know how you get updates like, oh, this person liked that person, this person liked that post. Manji's always liking these funny cat videos and animal videos, so I'm not surprised to see that like cat face there.
Cute. And then Dean responds, "𝗟𝘂𝗄𝗀𝘀, consider it done, finger gun. I need to talk to him anyway. His mom's birthday's coming up, and I still don't have a gift for her." That's nice, getting his aunt a birthday gift.
Yeah, sweet.
So one thing I will say I enjoy about this comic is that we have like Welsh sprinkled throughout the comic with Charles' character, and then some Spanish sprinkled throughout with Dean's character. It's so fun.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned this last podcast. I was like, Monkey is really she really does. I'm like, where did she decide? Where did she learn Welsh? Did she just like go on Google Translate and go, oh, this is Welsh? I mean, does she speak Spanish and Welsh? It's an interesting combination of languages to speak, but who knows?
I appreciate it. I love it. I think it's great.
Maybe she knows people in real life who speak Welsh and fluent Spanish, and she's like, hey, can you write this part for me or translate?
Maybe.
Yeah, you can continue until, I mean, I don't know, you can stop here if you want, but you can also continue.
Okay, I don't remember where I'm leaving off. Okay, so Eva comes in the next panel. Benji, I'm here to give you a lift to the hospital for your appointment. We have to leave soon if we don't want to be late, which is so nice of her. What a nice big sister.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like she's been out of his life for a while, and I feel like maybe there's a bit of that guilt, and she wants to compensate for that by being here for him now.
Yeah, but she's also very much herself, and so she's kind of rough a little bit. We have to leave soon if we don't want to be late.
And her posture, that's the big boss posture.
Hip cocked, arms crossed, resting bitch face. She's like, let's fucking go. Come on.
Also, did she just walk in? Does she like have a key to his place, and did she not knock?
Guess not. I don't have siblings, but I'm led to assume that that's what it's like.
Not with my siblings. Well, all of my siblings, we live in different states, so it would be weird to me to just walk in their house. But if we
be like, whoa, what are you doing here? Kick the door.
If we were neighbors, I can't imagine not knocking on the door. I can't imagine not ringing the doorbell.
Well, you seem a lot more gentle than Eva.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
I've known you for about 15 minutes, but I agree with that.
Oh my goodness. And Dean's reaction to seeing Eva is so great. It's so wonderful.
He actually gasps.
I know. It's fantastic. Madre Santísima. Oh, Mother of God. Can you hear me? Oh my gosh.
Pronunciation is awesome.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get this. Solo en mis sueños he visto una mujer tan, boy. Majestuoso. I don't know. Okay. Butchered that last word. But what a beautiful woman. I've only seen such a majestic lady in my dreams.
Wow.
It's a panel of her.
Do you think Eva speaks Spanish?
I think he's thinking it also, by the way.
Oh, is he thinking it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's in his head. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him to say it out loud. So.
Oh, he's so dramatic.
So I know. And she's like not smiling or anything. She's just very stoic. I mean, she's beautiful.
I think she does notice his face, at least, because of that slut mark, but she's choosing to ignore it.
And Marshall, Ava, you came. Give me a second. I'll be ready to go. Stands up. And Dean sits him right back down. Un segundo, por favor. I don't believe I've been introduced to this lovely lady. And Marshall's face. Oh, drop. He goes back down. So cute. Oh, sorry. This is my big sister, Eva. Eva. I don't know. I go back and forth. These are my good friends, Dean and Colin. And she's just looking at them, not really acknowledging anyone. Dean goes up. A pleasure, miss. I have known your brother for a while now, and he speaks very highly of you. He lifts his hand, probably wants to shake her hand.
He's more like gesticulating, like, oh, you're so beautiful. Oh, in my dreams, I just.
I think he's hilarious.
Like he's got one hand on his heart, and he's like, oh, you're just so, oh. Mwah, chef's kiss.
I'm feeling a little embarrassed. I'm feeling a little embarrassed. It's so dramatic. I'm like embarrassed on his behalf.
I love it. I like
it too. It's like some shit I would do. I'd be like, oh, yes. Hello.
Also, do you remember Marshall ever talking about Eva?
No.
Yeah, I think he's
blowing smoke right now. He's blowing smoke up our ass, totally.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so cute.
And maybe that's why she's kind of indifferent to it, because he kind of seems insincere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah. Like if the guy came up to you and was like, he'd be like, okay, calm down. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Especially in this next panel. Holy cow. Okay, so he's really laying it on thick. All those roses in full bloom behind him. I'm shocked we haven't crossed paths before. Perhaps this is kismet and we were fated to meet on this day.
See, you're doing the hand. See? Yeah. It came natural.
You're going to talk like that. And he's so hopeful. Do you not agree? And there's even roses in bloom behind Eva now. Meanwhile, she is just very stoic, just staring at him, taking it all in, waiting for him to finish. And then brushes off the rose petals.
And it's almost like they popped, they're all gone, going to the floor.
Yeah, she's a tough cookie. You said it.
Mm-hmm. This shocks Dean. That's my cat in the background, if you heard. He gasps. Yeah. Yes. Even Chloe can't believe it.
Chloe, can we have a little shot of Chloe? Can we see Chloe?
Oh, cuddling.
Yeah. He loves to find my lap.
Hi, sweetie.
Very cute.
Okay, sorry. Kitty. Kitty break.
Yep. So Eva completely ignores Dean, does not respond to him at all, and just says, Benji, come on, we don't have all day. Coming. And Dean startles, he jumps.
Crushed.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Is he holding back tears or just sweating?
He looks like he can't believe that he was so disregarded and just brushed aside.
Yeah. So easily brushed aside.
He's like, wow.
Yeah. Yep.
He's gonna be like Sam's dad and be like, what a woman. What a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Marshall comes up, taps him on the shoulder. Sorry, Dean. Don't take it personally. She's like that with everyone. And he has a little sweat mark also. He's feeling bad for his friend. And then Colin pipes up again. Has the charmer thing ever worked for you, Dean? Because I've seen you try for years and you struck out so much. I think a blind baseball player has better batting average. That's harsh.
Yeah. Ow.
Yeah, so Dean responds, Cállate, pendejo! And tosses one of those roses back at him. Oof. Manga is so cute with all her little extra stuff that she throws in. That's clearly, not based in reality, but it's there for emphasis. I love it.
Mm-hmm. It's adorable.
Yeah.
They're cute. They're cutie pies. So now they're outside and Marshall says, you didn't have to treat Dean like that, Ava. He's a really nice person, which, Marshall's a nice person for saying that. And she says, maybe if he didn't lay it on so thick, people would take him more seriously. Yeah, he's like, true, but the real Dean isn't like that at all. What's that supposed to mean? So apparently there's a real Dean, and hopefully we'll discover him.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently Marshall, I wonder if that's what attracts Marshall and Dean to each other, because Marshall has this very much Marshall persona, and even knows him as Benji, her brother, not Marshall. So she knows what he's like, what he's really like. And Dean, apparently, like you just said, Mindy, there's something underneath all of the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess I know we have a lot of characters, but maybe he'll have a little self-discovery arc of his own, learn how to be a little more down to earth. So now he jumps, doesn't answer the question, and he sees a a large, shiny SUV with a giant body-looking guard type standing in front of it. And he's like, isn't that a car from Dad's fleet? So he has a fleet. Guy's rich. And he hires, does he hire heavies now? Which I'm assuming heavies is another way of saying bodyguards.
Like a heavy hitter, something like that.
Yeah, so their dad is rich, and you know, in the year, however long it's been since Marshall spoke to his dad, he's clearly, you know, talking about him like it's a whole lifestyle that he doesn't like and doesn't approve of. It's definitely the sense you get.
And also doesn't really know what's going on with his dad.
Yeah.
Did they mention earlier on that his dad's like an attorney, and that's what he wanted Marshall to do, and Marshall's kind of like the black sheep for defecting, not wanting to do that.
Yeah. And I can totally understand Marshall disliking his dad's way of life. It seems he's pretty materialistic, very into honor, very into external accomplishments. And yeah, that, I mean, we already saw how much pressure he put on Marshall, and how, you know, abrasive and aggressive he was. So it's completely unsurprising that Marshall rejected that way of life. And Eva's like, no, what? He's the driver. And I'm using this car while Martin's in the shop. And Marshall's like, why can't we just take my car? They're like, where is it? And then we have the cutest little thing on the planet. It's this tiny little smart car, and it's bright blue. And she's like, ta-da! Boom! This is my girl, Bluebell. And she's cute as heck. Oh.
And I love the next panel. The car is like blushing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm cute.
Bluebell cute.
It's adorable. Oh my goodness.
Of course Marshall has that car. So we knew it. We just knew he would have the cutest little car ever. You know, fun loving, unique, different, not, you know, what's the word? Not show offy. Just
not super masculine. Like, obviously comfortable driving a tiny little keychain car.
Yeah, that's what she calls it. It's adorable. She's like, that's not a car, that's a keychain charm. I wouldn't be caught dead in that thing. Like, okay, Ava, fine. Please, Ava, I really don't want to use one of Dad's cars, which, you know, we can understand, right? That's kind of like, I think he would feel a little bit indebted if he used one of his dad's cars. And he doesn't want to feel that way. He doesn't want his dad to have anything that he can hold and use against him. Plus, it probably is just generally traumatizing. And then he's like, please, big sister, please. And we see annoying little brother's point of view. And he's towering over her. And then her point of view. And the please goes from like one panel to the next panel. Like annoyed older sister point of view, please. And she's like, ah, how is it fair that you inherited mom's puppy dog eyes and I got dad's resting bitch face? So cute. Yes, seems fairly accurate. And she says, you must defeat me in a duel. Slams her fist, and he's like, I accept. And accept, not like accept. And he slams his hand. He's like, ouchie. Which is just, you know, another indication of his adorable character. He does not have any pride. He doesn't, you know, not just with his sister, but I think with many other people. He's a humble guy. He's very down to earth. He doesn't care about his car, his clothing, and, you know, or looking silly, you know, of slamming his own fist too hard.
Yeah.
So sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, sometimes, you know, being around certain people brings out different sides of you. So like being around his older sister as the younger brother, he's like really playing up the younger brother card. And in his cutesy language, I accept and ouchie and stuff. He's just like kind of revert back to little brother, older sister.
Seems like it kind of melted her a little bit too. Like even though she still wasn't smiling, she was still willing to play along.
Yeah, very good point. Right, he is bringing out another side to her as well. So they go slam her fist, 1, 2, and 3, and she points at him, and he wiggles his fingers at her head, and he's like, Cthulhu, right? I don't know how to pronounce it. Tentacles beats ray gun. I win. Woo! We're taking Bluebell. She's like, damn, I knew I should have gone with the Elder Sign. Is this a specific game, or is it like their own game that they've invented?
It's like rock, paper, scissors, but the nerd version, it seems like.
Okay.
So Cthulhu is from H.P. Lovecraft, who's a horror writer from the early 1900s. And he's like a giant squid monster that comes from the stars, and he's very evil. He's like I'm sorry to anybody listening to this who knows more than me, but yeah, he's like the ultimate evil. So I guess he beats Raygun in this game. But I'm not sure what the Elder Sign is. I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm guessing it's something they made up as kids.
That's sweet.
Now I want to look it up.
I was like, he's sitting there in the car looking so contented. He's like, isn't this great, Eva? Me and you going on an adventure? Which is like, you're going to the hospital, dude. He's so happy, and he's just so optimistic. And I think another thing is that he lives in a fantasy world to some extent. And it's like a world, it's a very idealized world, and I kind of understand that because I'm a lot like that. I'm always living in my head and like living in my imagination. I'm like, the world is such a wonderful place in my own head, So Marshall's like that. He's so cute. And Ava's like embarrassed. Shut up and drive before I give you another reason to go to the ER.
She's actually blushing too under her sunglasses.
Putting on her sunglasses so no one can recognize her. It's so funny.
Ava cares about externals. She is not happy about being in the car, and like her image matters to her.
And it's like, is she famous? Like, would somebody recognize her right off? Or
I think it's just the idea of it. Yeah.
She's like, I can't even. She's just embarrassed in general. Okay, well, I guess it's my turn. So, panel of Corporate Park, very original name. Sam is in the office typing on her computer, and Umed comes in. Oh yeah, but she's still got her whole hand on the keyboard. She's good. Umed comes in and says, "Hey Sam, sorry to bother you. Are you feeling any better?" Which is really sweet. It really speaks to his character that he really genuinely cares that he, not purposefully, but he did upset her, and probably has been thinking about it all day, and just wants his friend to be okay. And Sam lifts her head up and says, "Oh, Umed, yeah, I am. Sorry about earlier. I was upset about my new score on Indigineer. I wanted to earn my score, And again, that just shows like her growth, where she's like acknowledging that, yes, you upset me, but it's okay. I realize it wasn't, your fault. She didn't even stutter either, which is really cool. So he says, "I understand. Hey, I brought you something to look over." And he does look nervous. He's sweating a little bit. You don't have to do it, of course, but I already vetted these before printing them out. It kind of, I don't know if his hand is shaking or it's just showing the movement of him setting the paper down. But he says, "They're reviews from Indigineer for Ruminate. I thought you might want to read them. Also, I've never mentioned it before, but I've actually played Ruminate long before martial law posted his video." And she kind of seems surprised to hear that. I wonder why he didn't mention that earlier, but okay.
Yeah, he doesn't seem shy, so I was also wondering.
Yeah. You may feel you didn't earn a high score on Indigineer, but I think your score should be at the top. Thanks, Umed. That means a lot. Yeah, no problem. But don't let it go to your head. He waves, walking out the door. You're going to be my boss someday. It's important you stay humble. She's kind of like surprised and then chuckles a little bit to herself.
That is so nice. I
want him to have a with somebody. Lucy.
Maybe he already has one. Oh, Lucy, yeah.
I don't know. He's very sweet.
Yeah, and yeah, I think he sees that Sam, right, reacted so negatively to the what happened. And I think he realizes like she's not going to go look at the reviews herself. So he wants to make sure that she sees the positive reviews, the people who actually went back and did play her game. So she knows it's not just saying like, yes, many people maybe just changed it based on like their relationship to Marshall, but you know, obviously people did play it, and he wants her to see that and really and have faith and be inspired by that.
Sam's got some good people in her life that really seem to care about her. And even, I mean, we haven't seen her hang out with Umed outside of work, but even if he's just a work friend, like it's pretty sweet. So she's lucky to have so many good people in her life looking out for her.
And, you know, I feel like maybe what he told her, like, you're going to be my boss one day, is foreshadowing. I mean, obviously, besides for the fact that, yeah, she's the CEO's daughter, I think that he's telling the audience, Sam has a lot of potential, and she might be shy now and a little bit bumbling socially, but she has the potential to get places, and, you know, just wait and watch.
Yeah. Well, and like we mentioned earlier, she said she's not sure if she wants to develop games anymore just because of what happened with Ruminate. And it seems like she's being pushed more into the corporate side, like of fixing this problem with Indigineer. And I mean, she's mentioned to Charles that she didn't want to be in charge of the company, but maybe she'll have a change of heart when she sees that she can do it. I think maybe she didn't want to do it because she just felt like so out of her depth in those kinds of situations, but it's clear that she's really developing and she could do it. So she just has to, you just gotta believe in yourself, Sam.
Yeah, I know. You know, just seeing with myself and my husband, like how much your experiences and your encouragement and faith from other people can change your perception of yourself and what you can do. So, you know, there's so many things that like my husband and I would think it was out of reach. We had like imposter syndrome for, and then getting feedback from people just really reinforced, hey, no, we can do that. It's within the realm of possibility.
Sometimes it's just yourself holding yourself back out of fear or, you know, just insecurity. And really you're your own, if you can overcome that in yourself, like you can, I know it's like corny, but you really can do anything, or you can attempt to do anything, you know. You just really have to let go of that fear, which is really hard sometimes. Yeah.
For many years. Go ahead.
Yeah. And like getting over the I'm a beginner. Like, this is really hard. And I know this is a sucky first attempt. And I know it's not going to be great because I'm just starting out, and getting over that and being like, I can get better, and noticing the progress.
Yeah.
That's going to be hard to do.
Yeah. It's hard too when you see some people are just naturals. Like anything they try, they're good at it the first time. And if you're someone who has to really like work at it and, you know, fail a bunch of times just to get semi good at something, I mean, I feel like you worked for it more and you earned it more, and maybe you appreciate it a little bit more. So.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think Lauren, you probably see a lot of that as a piano teacher when you know that what you said before about not being good at something right away and realizing you need to work at it. I'm sure you see that a lot in your profession.
Yeah, definitely.
I love that you're a piano teacher. I miss that.
Yeah, it's fun.
I tried to learn as an adult, and oh my God, so hard. So hard. I have so much respect for you. That's awesome.
Oh, that's nice. But I mean, you know, like anything, I've put a lot of time into it. So
yeah.
And I have a couple students who started as adults. So yeah, it's just with anything you want to try to get better at, it takes repetition. So like, if you want to be more patient, oh boy, you need circumstances to help test that patience and try to be patient. If you want to learn the piano, if you want to make video games, if you want to be a manager, it all just takes practice.
And failure, which is
that's true.
So everyone.
Especially when you're dealing with other people.
Sure. Well, nobody wants to fail, but you really do. You really can't learn without failure, unfortunately.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a fun bonus question. Shall we do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you to my current patrons: Susie Lady Libris, Lily Jenny, Haley Maria, Molly Veronica, Emily, Joe Rochelle, Saucy Puggles Meg, Anne Rose Priya, Alexa Misty, Laura Joanne, Hattie Jen, Emilda Esther, I'm Watching You, Taurus Papacy, Marie Jen, Emily Jean Jen, Erin D, Kate, Lily, and Beckett. Your support is truly appreciated.